different plants, different voices, and different ways of having conversations. It's time to get personal with plant medicine. Welcome to Getting Personal with Plant Medicine. I'm your host, Diana, and today I am joined by Cassia, aka Queemy, aka Q, of Mary Jane N Munchies, which is an amazing podcast I think that some of you may have heard of before, but you'll hear a lot more about it today. So how are you doing today, Q?
The best I can. I'm feeling great because the weather is fantastic today. I don't know if that's what you're experiencing yonder, but we up here living the La Vida Loca right now.
Yeah, it's really hot out today. I'm glad you mentioned the weather because apologies up front. I'm going to sound nasally because these seasonal allergies are out of control this year. They already said it was like the worst in history or something like that. And if we waited until I didn't sound that way, we would never get this done. So just apologies up front if I sound a little extra nasally. I will try not to sneeze in anyone's ear holes. I'm just joking. Okay, so let's start with how your journey began with plant medicine. For those who don't know, I mentioned it a little bit. I said Mary Jane N Munchies. It's a podcast that you co-host and co-create. But you're also on social media being very public about your plant medicine journey. So let's talk about how that began for you. Like, where did you start with plant-based wellness? Did it begin with cannabis or was it a different
No.
plant?
No. Um, well, yes and no. Long ago, once upon a time, I was probably in my late teens and I developed a disorder called functional neurological disorder. I cracked my head on the counter out of nowhere. I just had these elongated accents. We were down in South Carolina. I cracked my head on the counter, and like I said, these elongated symptoms. When I tell you, it was probably 711,000 quadrillion symptoms from speaking with accents and in different languages, having seizures, blanking out, fevers. It was horrible. That's just to name some. Or having spasms. Ugh. So my uncle, he was big into plant medicine. Shout out to him. He was like, you should try CBD. Now he was administering CBD out to like my grandparents and I think my dad, just to manage and regulate emotion and anxiety in general. But he was like, yeah, we should just go ahead and do it for her. And the thing about CBD is that consistency is super duper hard to get. Like you can even have a company and then the company's gone. And it's or then it was. I haven't used it in years, but it would be gone. I don't know if you've ever had the CBD where it was like, that there was THC somewhere in there, but you was like, I ain't gonna say nothing. It's working.
Oh yeah, especially in the early days, like a lot of these small companies would pop up and you'd be like, oh, this is really great, and then it would be gone because everything was changing so much. It still is always changing. Right now we're dealing with an opposing ban on it. So I totally understand the lack of consistency and accessibility, right? And like you said, sometimes those were like, are you sure this is CBD?
It was
Yeah.
it was very interesting. It went from CBD to like when we moved out of South Carolina to the Midwest, where there's really strong controls on anything. They had this option at this, I would say, holistic novelty store called Kava Brownies.
Mm.
Oh my God, these brownies probably had kava and like passion flower and like a couple things. I don't know how they were sneaking it into these brownies with them tasting just like somebody baked them 10 minutes ago, but they were the best brownies ever.
Mm.
They worked up until I built up a tolerance. Then we used, well, when I say we, I was still a kid. So me and my mom went and tried just heavy concentrates of valerian and passion flower. And then we went into like green tea and then yerba mate tea for energy and fatigue. So that's how it started. Then my grandmother puffed this cloud of this I don't know if you know what a lollipop joint is, but like it's this little skinny dummy joint. Um, we're on camera, but it's about this big.
Yeah.
It's about this big.
Oh, okay.
So
It's like a pixie stick.
exactly. So the thinnest joint you've ever seen. And she puffed it in my face. And from that moment on, that's when the cannabis started, locking into my life.
That's amazing. Did she like? Was she always so open with you, or was it like this needs
Oh,
to
yeah.
happen because you're suffering?
It was, bless her heart, it was amalgamation of awareness because of use and medicating herself, and then seeing the level of suffering. I couldn't even go to school, so it was like I think she had a moment of like, I think the weed gonna work for her. Like we just gonna puff it in her face and see if the cannabis erases some of what she's going through, and it didn't erase, but I would say it reduced my symptoms down over the years to like 70 to 80% of what it used to be. So it's the thing. It's the thing. So yeah, she did
That's
see me suffering.
awesome. I love that. And so after that, were you like, how can I get some more? Like, what was the next step?
Yeah, because her and I were sharing, and it got to a place where she started. Like she was like, "This isn't enough for us to share," and then legacy. It is what it is. So we got this great legacy from another place on the West Coast, if you will, the best coast, if you know, you know. And that worked until, again, my tolerancy started building up. And then, unfortunately, through my grandma's misnomered affection, she started stealing my medication. Like I thought we were sharing. It was kind of weird. Because she'd be like, I could smell when you smoking when it hits the ventilation in the house. I said, it's getting deep. It's getting deep. So I end up moving and I still have my legacy connection. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. And then he's like, you always can tell me if you need more. And I was like, but I need a lot. So my mom and my sisters moved to Boston, where my dad is. And she was like, you can get a medical card and you can get as much weed as you need. You need whatever we can do to subside these symptoms, because it would be like dysregulation. You know what I'm saying? Because then
Hmm.
you go for legacy, and the inconsistency of the I guess the potency is
Right.
one of the major issues. So it was, again, from the West Coast, it's the best coast, but then it'd be like, which one? And you can't keep on getting one unless you're getting a lot of some. And then I was like, I'm not about to put you to that labor. You're a good person. I love you. My mom was like, yeah, you should come up here. They were very like pasta and lobster. They lived large and upcharge in this state. So I was like, I don't know. And then one day I had gotten and broken up with my ex over this crazy situation, but I was basically butt naked on the floor. And I was like, I'm so vulnerable and I need to have a good life. Because it's not good right now. I'm not supposed to be butt naked on the floor, wondering where because it was a thing where we were sharing too. And then it was like, now it's nothing here. He just took it all. He mad. He took it all, and now I'm on the floor butt naked because the disorder make you pass out. Have these seizures too. I end up getting photosensitive epilepsy, which made the need for cannabis even higher because it was the functional neurological disorder at first, and then it turns into this. So I was like, it seems mighty well to go up in Boston. I was going to be homeless and go on a medical roster, and unfortunately, when the high concentration of black that I am, I'm like 90% black. There's no medicine that is tested for me. So I would get these side effects like breast milk and just I would get like, now thank God it wasn't hair loss, but I'd be hungry, like, and I was already hungry. I was eating for two before, now I'm eating for four. So so I would say the grandeur was getting to cannabis where I was like I could have a continuum medical regimen, whether it be combining the cannabis with herbs, but I know I need to get to where they is. So I came up here and that's how I got it.
I love how would you say lobster and pasta?
Yes, it was like, because this coast is known for the seafood. So
Hmm.
Maine will import, or sometimes you can get the lobsters from around here. And then, yo, the oyster, the clam situation. I was like, "Ooh, it looks so good." Uh, oh, and then my dad was working at this place that made lobster diablo, and I was like, "Nah, oh, I think that, ooh, it's making it look even better."
You're making me miss the Northeast. Well, I am still in the Northeast, but I miss the Maine and Massachusetts food for sure. So food is a big part of what you do though, because you do
Yeah,
create a lot of content around your food and how important that is as part of your wellness journey.
yeah,
And you
yeah.
incorporate plants into that. So did your journey with cannabis shape that at all?
Yeah, I would say once I got I guess, a regimen of like 1.5 grams of cannabis, I realized that like I had a couple more problems. I had arthritis, I had fibromyalgia, I have to get double hip surgery. So my joints and stuff are kind of, I want to say, fucked up. Um, Messed up. I don't know what you can say in a podcast. Keep what you will, but they're very messed up. My doctor told me my body is like 50 years old. So I was like, but I'm a good young lady. I'm 23. What do you mean 50? Like I'm a hot girl. But so I acquired knowledge about, turmeric in the depth of how important it is for inflammation, rosemary, inflammation, anything that I could slip in here to help that curcumin get in my system. I reduced nightshades. Just I would say, aside from that, though, the turmeric being culturally like something that is died now, like it's predominantly our diet, but we use it to um we use it to help ourselves become a little bit more flavor depth wise. So in my family was easy to kind of accommodate sneaking it in there more. And black pepper, I mean, if you're not using salt and pepper, ladies and gentlemen, what are we doing? I feel like that is a core issue of not minimally using that. I also got into some kind of awareness of like organ support and like for my lungs, and because I was blowing it down at the point every so often when it gets bad, I can I can break down probably like 4 grams in a day. So I was like, my lungs is gonna be 50 years old too, so let me not play. So mullein helped with that. Dandelion helped with like anything that could need to range out my system. I also have a very strong chemical imbalance that you know protrudes out in this vicarious musk. So it either allures them in, or I takes me like forever to scrub it down. So I um, I'm being honest. I don't know what it is with the functional neurological disorder that does it, but my sister got it too. So I was like, it is a commonality.
Mm.
Um, so I use a lot of like lemon and citrus in my diet, or chlorophyll. So yes, in short, definitely it does. Everywhere I can implement lovely herbs into my day to day that might not just be smoking. I'm in there. I'm in there.
That's awesome. I love that. So, outside of your wellness journey, you also have the podcast that we talked about. So that puts you in a public facing spot, basically. So, how does that how does that affect you with misconceptions? Like, do people ever kind of push back at what you're saying? Do you have any kind of misunderstandings on a personal level because you're being public about it?
I feel like laziness is the assumption. I feel like a lot of the time, any cannabis consumer who is an entrepreneur or highly active, we're always trying to showcase that we're not couch potatoes. Aside from cannabis being a part of my life, it is a part of my functionality to be. a chef, to be able to be a content creator, to upscale food for 15 to 17 hours a day, sometimes 20, depending on how hard in the paint it goes. If I didn't use cannabis, I would be a couch potato. How
Mm.
about that? I would be locked up in a couch somewhere in so much pain, just groveling in it, or groveling in it. And I feel like that is what I have communicated as a professional. I have had conversations about, medical usage and what that has done to change my life. I have been, I was in a culinary program up here in Boston, and community servants called Teaching Kitchen. And I had to tell them, like, I know y'all have an opioid issue up here, but I'm not her. But this is my medical card, just in case you need to see my credentials, because I'm not playing with you. If I don't come correct, and this is me being correct person, you're going to see nothing out of me. Out of that program, I was put into fine dining. Now, with fine dining for me, no, but because they were doing cocaine and espresso. But I felt like the misconception of my cannabis use, and my activity, just showcases with my ability. So I prove that with my ability all the time. Because I would say the disorders tap your girl out anyway. So being a chef or a content creator to show up with high energy, quote unquote, I think that's what they want. So this is what I require to get it done.
Right. Yeah. I
Yeah,
saw somebody, I don't know if it was on Threads, it was on some part of social media. I think it was on Substack. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked here. She said that neurodivergent people don't use cannabis to get high, they use it to get grounded. And I thought that
yeah,
was really good because, yeah, same. I don't get high. I might have a higher level of energy or, socialization, something like that, but it's not high in the sense that people think, oh, you're just going to lay around all day. And like you said, if I didn't use that as part of my, well, a tool in the tool belt, if you will, then I would be in the fetal position all day. So I really like that analogy. That was good.
yeah.
So, how did your podcast come to be? Like, what, obviously, you're so passionate about how this changed you on a personal level. Is that what kind of led to that creation?
Well, it goes back into going and becoming a chef. Up here in Boston, I was given an opportunity by my dad. Also, this is the caveat for the long pasta and lobster story. So, my dad, he's like, if you go to Boston, you'll be able to get in the free program. And you'll be able to get in the free culinary program, easy peasy. You just got to look around. And I was like, whatever, Dad. Of course you will say that. You just want me to come. I go to Stop and Shop, and there is a billboard in Stop and Shop, and I'm looking at it, and it's show enough say 12-week culinary program, free culinary program. Get your serve safe manager, and get, like, I think it was like 200 to 300 hours of, I think it's called internship. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, I'm in there. I call the people as soon as I get out of the store, and I'm like, yeah. Is there availability in this class? What do I need to do for the next class? I don't know if this is a short term thing, long term. I'm like, just get me in here. They go, you have to come tomorrow because we have our classes, coming in to do the evaluation testing. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, I will be there tomorrow. Figure out that it's probably like 25 minutes away from my house. Get a drop off from my mother at the time, and she's like, "Bow, you're here." I was like, "Why is that always right?" I go into the program. It was horrible because that man do be right a lot of times, and I'd be like, "Sir, is it the military training that you have, or was your ability when you were born? Was it a gift?"
Sounds like the
So
latter.
I don't. He's one of them talented people, so that's why I try to be like, believe you talented because you're born genetically with it. So I'm in the program probably like 3 4 weeks, and I meet my co-host, who is a receptionist at community service at the time. I have these brass knuckles I've lost in the bathroom, and I'm like, yes. They have, I don't, people here think that life is safe. It's not safe what it is.
No. Mm-mm.
It's not. I don't know what your stuff is, but whatever the stuff is, keep it on you that is going to let you out to be legally safe. So I got
Right.
my legal safety on. And I'm like, I lost them though because I'm doing a check on all my stuff. I'm like, what is it? So I'm missing. So I go to the desk and I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but in the most professional way. But I'm up here talking to her like, so I'm like, I lost my brass knuckles. Have you seen them? Has anybody came up with them? And she's like, no, I don't think anybody would have that. And I'm like, she goes, did you check your person? Did you check everywhere you were? We're all talking the most professional we can about some brass knuckles. So she's like, go ahead and check the bathroom if you checked your person right good. So I go to the bathroom and they're there on top of the toilet because I mean like the little toilet dispenser or toilet paper dispenser. And I'm like, this is for life. Because I have to take them off because ain't nobody wiping with no brass knuckles. You know what I'm saying? I have a sanitizer for them, but I'm just like in the bathroom stall. I shall be vulnerable. I'll lock it. I've done everything I can. I'm going to pee on you if you fight me. That's all I so, nonetheless, I go back to Des to reassure her that, I have them. And she's like, I've been watching you and, I'm going to make sure everything's good with you. And you ever have this problem again, you just come to me. So I graduate the class. We go out to dinner. She takes me out to dinner on her because I graduated and it was a sweepstakes manager, but it was like the best thing I've done in life since I got my GED, and I was so proud because it was my dad's manifestation of easy accessibility, and he was right, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll eat on that. So, um, she's like, we talking and we end up smoking together after we ate, as you do. You either smoke before or after, but we've ate good and we friends now. So we up here like, this my stuff, this your stuff. So we matching each other and we talking. And she's like, so have you ever been to this thing called Hemp Fest? It's also more knownly here called Boston Freedom Rally, but nationally they have Hemp Fest around. So it's like basically the same thing, but it's just regionally called one thing and then nationally called another. So she's like, have you ever been to Hemp Fest? I said, Hemp Fest? No, I have. My dad took me there, and she's like, why would your daddy take you there? I was like, we needed a lot of weed and we got some granddaddy perp out there. And he just walked up to the man. He was like, my daughter has a seizure disorder and I want to know what you got. I've got money. And you really, there's a donation base, but this man pull out probably like either an ounce or half an ounce for me. And he's like, yeah, just give me 40. And it was the best granddaddy perp I've ever had. To this day, granddaddy perp, I love you. So we end up making a date to go up there as friends and stuff like that. So I'm like, we go in and we spend our little time, we get some weed infused honey. We got our grams there. We got a pre-roll. And she's like, we match each other. She's like, what you think of the weed? She's like, I'm thinking, I was like, it's good. It's probably like a 10 out of 10 would recommend. She's like, I think it's like a 6. I was like, oh, really? I was like, why you think it's a 6? I think it's a 10 because I feel good. I'm winning. She's like, you feel like it's hitting for real though? Like, do you feel like you relaxed? I said, I'm not relaxed. You right. I'm not. My body feels good, but I'm not relaxed. She's like, yeah. I think we should make a podcast because she is disabled.
Mhm.
She has chronic arthritis. So she is not wheelchair bound, but she is in the wheelchair like maybe 60-40, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So she know good weed, just like I would know good weed because I passed out and had these seizures, you know what I'm saying? That thing gotta work, you know what I'm saying? So we had the credentials. She was like, we be eating good food. You a chef, I'm a chef. She's a chef. She went to Atlanta and I think it was Le Cordon Bleu or There's another one out there. I just didn't go to culinary school because I don't believe in it. But nonetheless, I only believe in delicious food, and I read a book or two. You know what I'm saying? And I listen to a couple chefs, and then I apply. Because that's like five good years of money that I would have to make back. So,
Hmm.
nonetheless, she is culinary trained professionally, and she has ultimate credentials to be conversing about food on podcasts. So I was like, of course I will. We are. Well, this is what we shall be. And then it's been on and popping ever since then.
So, how did you come up with the Mary Jane and Munchies concept? Because I know you have a segment, right, where you say Mary Jane or Munchies. Is that like people choosing whether or not they want to smoke or to eat? Or is it?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Because, okay. So, first answer is that Rick James has Mary Jane's song. Like, boom, boom. You know that song, and you up here very trippy 70s psychedelic, right? Um, and we were listening to that. She was like, Fred, we're dancing, we're smoking. Like, this is the name of our podcast. I said, Rick James' estate ain't gonna allow us just to call it that. She was like, true. As we smoking, we still dancing to the song, and I was like, but we be cooking and we be eating. She was like, yeah, well, we can't call it Mary Jane and cooking and eating. So I said, we got a good little catch here. So getting dancing, we smoking. And she's like, I don't know. I said Mary Jane and then we go munchies at the same time. Cornily, because we're corny like that. It was like, because we just know. I don't know. It sounds corny, but we're corny like that. So it's like munchies. And they were like, yeah, you hungry right now? Let's go eat some. So that was perfect cadence. It was short like that. And then into um, the segment, we go out and much cannabis events happen in Boston. So there's Can and again Hemp Fest that we just talked about. So we go to events like that, and I don't know. I don't know the last time you've been to this city, but weed is so popular. You can find somebody smoking in front of a cop, and cop like, I got to get my second hand, baby. Everybody's either smoking or taking some type of consumption of cannabis. So we're like, they could be hella foodies, which is just a denomination of its own. They can be like into edibles, which is another way of saying munchies, or one and the same, just really liking food or really liking edibles, munchies. So it is a war against from me and my best friend, constantly seeing who like it and what's good. So is it Mary Jane majority of the time? Hell yeah. Yeah, because people like to roll it down and smoke it down and pass it around. But every so often, there is one person like, I love edibles. That's the only way I can go to work, or that's the only way I can survive. Or, I just like to cook. When I'm done smoking, I'm eating. So I like to eat more than I like to smoke, to be real with you. So I get those and I'm like, I'm winning, but my friend wins majority as Mary Jane.
Okay, so she's the one that says people prefer to smoke than to eat it. And you say to eat it. So do
Yep.
you eat it
Yep.
mostly? Do you incorporate edibles a lot into your routine? Are they a big tool in your tool
Yes.
belt?
They are a big tool in my tool belt, because there's a capacity of smoking, right? I am majorly at a place of tolerance where I can tell the tonality of every difference of cannabis products. So sometimes I need to take an edible professionally because I can't have any, remnants of weed on me. Sometimes I need to put some Rick Simpson oil and some butter and, dip it with some shrimp because I don't really like to have Rick Simpson oil straight to the head. But I can season it up right quick and still consume. So I feel like actually it depends on how bad my seizures are because I noticed that the edibles are better for my aura, and they're better for my pain. So when I was talking about having seizures and arthritis, what happens is that you're like breaking down your body from the level of seizures that you're having. So the ricochets are inflaming your body even more. So for inflammation, it is going to be munchies all the way every time. Because there's times where I have to take straight edibles for a couple days. I could smoke, but it's not going to help the level of, I guess, euphoria versus body high.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's how I am too. And if I do have edibles, I have to like layer it throughout the day with something else. Usually, if it's kratom or CBD or something like that, I can't usually just do edibles unless I have to, and then then you have to deal with it, right?
I said you have to take the L with it. You kind of have to figure out how it's going to work for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about stereotypes and people assuming laziness, but as a content creator, podcaster, whatever you want to call it, because I know some people don't like content creator, but that's what we're doing, right? We're
Yeah.
creating.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
else do you deal with that is specifically cannabis focused? Like I know for a fact that every cannabis person who's public deals with some type of censorship that other people don't deal with on social media platforms and other spaces as well. And I know that you all do a lot of events locally, so you probably have a little bit more freedom when you're doing it in, you know, the live situations, right? But online, what do you deal with specifically?
Um, I guess kind of creating a space, being a chef and a cannabis consumer and a cannabis, I guess you would say creator, because at some point in time I intermingled the chef ability with the cannabis infusion, if you will. I feel like a lot of it is how brown people and black people are accepted. Black people in this industry get, I don't know, I feel like they get whipped around and twirled around like a rag doll, because our counterparts, we love you guys and we see the support that you get. But when we converse about it, or to get the information, to get the mentorship, to get support, to get and know all the things to even get there, I feel like that's the problem. It feels like because I guess we've been in the industry for such a long time, legacy wise, the level of professionality that they take us for, and having to go above and beyond, not above and beyond like our, again, our our brethren, but like above and beyond to make sure that we're hitting some type of nodule. Like we had a conversation like a month ago where I was like, yeah, we've been doing this, her and this, and he was like, and you ain't getting paid for it?
Yeah.
Yes, we're not. We're self-funded like a mug. Like we bring in our own cannabis for our own guests. We put ourselves in situations where we're, supporting each other from a community base wise, but is it truthfully a something that's come from other people? No, it's because we went to the dispensary earlier that week and we picked up the cannabis for our guests to consume. So having the communication and awareness, to be able to, have conversations with sponsors has been a big issue. And then also, I would say, knowing our sound and tonality, and having conversations about that as a self-funded podcast, because our technology took a long time for us to kind of surface on how we were going to compose our sound together. But we, again, are self-funded. So we up here thinking mics from Amazon and
Yeah.
not like, you can click it here and there. Like, we are also neurodivergent. So I think professionally, people can see sometimes where we're inconsistent and question why we're inconsistent, but put in the fact that we're self-funded, put in the fact that we're chronically disabled, put in the fact that, I guess, for whatever reason, appearance-wise, one of us look more than the other, and they really think that we can just kind of supersede the in-between. But really, it's like me and her are on the same level, trying to dictate our way of paving our lane, and that's what we've been working on in the last like year, is making sure that it's us, it's straight. There's nothing besides our energy coming out of us, because I feel like the internet will make it seem like, we are, again, just pulling this as homegirls, but truthfully, we put energy to make sure that y'all are consuming us just as much as you consume food or cannabis. So.
Yeah, it is difficult because I think people assume that podcasting is a lot easier than it actually is. And like you said, the technical side of it is very labor intensive. And you should definitely be getting paid for that. So if anyone's listening and they want to become a sponsor, so on that note, how can people support you? Where can they find you? Do you have anything special that you want to talk about before we end?
Okay, so as I look at my notes, there's several thousand things that I could say, other than the fact that we are streaming on all platforms. We are accessible to you by Spotify subscription, $1.99, so you can get all the behind the scenes content of Mary Jane and Munchies, all of our hiccups, all of our tangent conversations. You think we tangented here? We did not. No, no. We go all the way left on our show. So we get you straight behind the scenes content, and we give you side content where we give you how to's, versus our YouTube page where we had to take all that stuff down just because it is so informational. You were talking about censorship, but
Mm-hmm.
yes, I feel like that's the thing that happens to all of us, is that we get like copyright, or somebody flags it for. I don't even know why they think it's so graphic, but because it's just literally a how-to is just herbs you crushed. I don't know.
We have a
Anyway,
strike on our channel just for a short video we did about vervain. They were saying that we were promoting an illegal substance for sale, and I was like, it's not, though. And they rejected my appeal. So, yeah, they've been doing a lot of that lately. They shut down another podcaster who has been on this show. They shut down her whole channel, because she talks about kratom. I mean, the whole thing. She had something like 2,000 videos. They deleted it all without any, because they don't give you any notice after you strike. So that's what they told me. It's like, it's not three strikes and you're out. It's like a couple of strikes and then
you got
that's
one.
it.
You got one.
Right. Yeah. I don't even think it's a couple. I think it is one. You're right. So yeah, it's really difficult to try to get what you're doing out there, but I so
I
appreciate
mean,
it.
it's one of those things where, like, we've had to create avenues. Like I said, Spotify was the only thing that we could think of outside of a Patreon, because we're not selling anything. We're just giving information and fun. I think that for, as you follow us, you know what I'm saying, as we grow, you'll see that it's just information and fun. So I think that, being striked or censored, or you just kind of have to have a backup page. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's I guess, the youth in it is like, you always have to have a backup plan. Yes, for the social media, keep your idea, but being shadow banned is one of the biggest issues that we, as I feel like, herbal or apothecary style content is always going to be like, it's really green. Don't let it look fuzzy. Don't let it look fuzzy. So they're gonna get you, but you have to kind of extend off of that. So that's why we have the $1.99 Spotify subscription, just to help people get the level of information without the edits, without the cuts, without somebody being like, "Well, what you doing?" We doing our best here on the Jane N Munchies. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Oh, well, you are doing your best. You guys are hilarious. I mean, I haven't stopped laughing since we began this. And this is just a very small taste of what you would get on that show. I crack up literally the minute you guys start talking. Anyway, so go to Spotify, support them, check them out on YouTube, support them there. Is there anything personally that you want to promote or
We
talk about?
have our website, Mary Jane and Munchies. Hold on, because she will punch me in my face. Mary Jane and Munchies dot store. So it's going to be NJNN Stash. Y'all should know how to spell stash, God. Help us. Help us. And then store. We have all of our merchandise on there, color book pages, stickers where you have the QR code link where you could be like, okay, I just need to listen to the podcast right now because I'm in so-and-so Shangri-La. And you'll be able to pop it up like ta-da, and you'll listen to however you want to. Watch it, listen, go ahead and subscribe to the Spotify. The cool thing about our website is it's directly connected to our social media. So if you're not a big social media person, you can just see our little highlighted, like I think top 4, and then they'll just keep on pushing you to whatever the top 4 of our newest content is. So check that out. That's what I got.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And you're such a joy to speak to. And we would love to have you back at any time.
I would love to be here. Mary Jane N Munchies is everything that we are doing right now, Cannabis, Food, and Homegirl. I feel like when I'm talking to you, I feel like you're my sister from another mister. Oh. And your guidance and support over these last couple of years have been everything to me.
Oh, so. You're too sweet. Don't make me cry.
It's okay. It's okay. Like I said, we didn't have no mentors. So, like, we was like, who it going to be? And it was like, low-key you. So, ta-da. There you go. Thank you.
Christopher's Organic Botanicals, a family-owned and operated South Jersey business for all your kratom needs. We share the love, passion, and integrity of kratom and traditional herbal tea products. Shop small and support local businesses. We've got a wide variety of products you can check out on our website. Shop tea, powder, capsules, crushed leaves, and extracts from the comfort of your keyboard. Simply visit Christopher'sOrganicBotanicals.com. The testimonials speak for themselves.
For me personally, I use it for energy in the morning. I was hit by a car as a little kid, so I was always looking for something to get me moving a little bit better. This helps basically lubricate the joints, helps me get things going, and makes me feel a lot better.
American Kratom Association audited and approved CGMP vendor. Like us on social media and call us with any questions, 609-202-6880.
Getting Personal with Plant Medicine is brought to you by Christopher's Organic Botanicals and is produced by Your Highness Media.